Did you guys miss me? Sorry about that. A little behind this morning. In a meeting with the bosses, but you know, that's what we do. So today we are talking all things when it comes to that amazing move over law. We've had the Florida move over law here in the state of Florida for quite some time. A lot of states have it, actually. Let's get out of this parking lot, hop on the road, and go talk about what we are talking about today. So glad you guys joined me. What a different day. What a day makes, right? Last night, absolute mess throughout Central Florida, right? All right, let's get this gate open and get out of here. All right, guys, thanks for joining me this morning. I'm Steven Monteiro. Ezzy Castro called me Steven on air yesterday, so I called her Esperanza because that's her name. We just call her Ezzy. But yesterday during Ask Trooper Steve, we talked about the Florida move over law. I explained what the law initially was, and then, of course, the expansion that has happened. I'm coining the phrase, common courtesy has become law since we couldn't do it on our own. So we're out here on John Young. My goal is to get on 408 at some point. Maybe we'll even head towards I-4 this morning and go cruise around there. But with the new expansion of the law, it now includes you, the civilian, your vehicle on the side of the road. And I'm a big proponent of this. Think about it. It's not just police officers, sheriff's deputies, state troopers, fire department, ambulance, fire trucks, tow trucks, things like that are working out on the roadway. Emergencies do happen for all of us, right? So there are times, heck, our vehicles are equipped with hazard lights just in case something happens to your car. Well, here in Florida, we use them to signify that you're having trouble driving in the rain, but that's beside the point. Gosh, I hate that law that lets you guys do that. But anyways, so on January 1, move over law expanded to protect the motoring public as well. So what did the expansion do? It still covers all service vehicles, fire departments with their lights flashing. But now it does also covers our privately owned vehicles. If you're on the side of the road and the hazard lights are flashing or some type of warning light, whether it's maybe a van like this that's in front of us and may have extra amber warning lights similar to what I have here on Results One, and if those are flashing and I'm on the side of the road, then a driver would be required to vacate the closest lane next to me or slow down 20 miles an hour underneath the posted speed limit. I can't see that oncoming traffic, which makes me a little nervous. So I'm not going to go out completely. I'm going to wait a second because I can't see. And that's the safe thing to do. If you can't see, don't pull out because it's just too dangerous at that point. And we're going to get the green and we're going to go for it. Here we go. Let's pull a U-turn here. So if a vehicle was out here on the side of the road with their hazard lights on, I would then be required to move out of this travel lane. Meaning, if my left side here is clear, then that's where I need to move over to. Same thing would be here. I'm going to move into the center lane. See these service vehicles up here working? They're in the median. I need to clear that left lane because they are actively working with their lights flashing. This is something that you would think is common courtesy, but now the state of Florida has said it's required for you to do this. So that's what we're talking about today. Also, the law says if a pedestrian is visible around that vehicle, then you are also required to clear that travel lane. So what are we doing here? We're adding safety measures, really a lot of them. Safety measures to ensure that we're all safe out on the road. There were over 176 crashes last year. I'm throwing that number out there. I'm saying, let's say over 150 crashes. I'm not sure exact number. Last year that were caused by contributing factors of people failing to obey the Florida move over law. That's a lot of crashes for something that we should be doing anyway. We're out here northbound on John Young, coming up to Edgewater here in just a second. I'm trying to get out to a major highway so we could just chat a little bit to see what's going on, and maybe even demonstrate a little bit of what the Florida move over law pertains to. But I can tell you guys, let me pull this back over here. So for those that watch and maybe you're new to this, I am a Florida State Trooper. I'm proud to say that because it's allowed me to be the Trooper Steve I am for you guys, having a little bit of inside knowledge, a little bit of real world experience with what I preach to you guys every single day. And being a Florida Highway Patrol trooper, your office is the side of the road. We operate on the side of the road. We are in travel lanes, and it is not the safest place to be. 2, and I can remember them like it was yesterday, 2 side view mirrors right there on my side. Now, thank goodness we live in a time where majority of side view mirrors, newer model vehicles, have that collapsible side view mirror. But even then, this stuff hurts. First one was on the turnpike, and I think I got hit at maybe 50 mile an hour, and good bruising. Thank goodness for a bulletproof vest. That protected me a little bit from the impact. But also the second one happened when I was a motor trooper. And it's like, I'm already out on the bike. Our motorcycles light up like alien aircraft. And the only way you don't see us is if you're not paying attention. The Florida move over law allows that consequence to be at least in your brain, that, hey, if you don't want to do it to be a good person and to be someone who travels safely, maybe you'll do it because you don't want to get hit with $160+ ticket and 3 points on your driver's license. And ultimately, that's what happens with these citations. So it is a moving violation. It is a primary offense, meaning for that reason alone, you can be pulled over. And it is one of the biggest laws in place simply to keep you and I safe. Whether it's the law enforcement officer on the side of the road, whether it's the person driving on the road, or if it's you now broke down. Because like what we were talking about, if you're joining us, the Florida move over law was expanded to cover all of us. And I could not be more excited about this. Just because, what do I talk to you guys about every single day? Crashes. Crash after crash after crash. And then what do I say? Hey, avoid doing this so we don't have any secondary crashes. Secondary crashes would be following too closely, which maybe then you're not paying attention, or failing to move over and there's people outside their cars, and then, gosh forbid, we have a vehicle versus pedestrian crash when it could have been avoided, right? So this is part of the reason why that law has been expanded. And again, it used to just be the Florida move over law. So many states have it. Originally, rewind, what's today's date? January 10th. 11 days ago, the Florida move over law only covered service vehicles. But I'm using that as a broad. Service vehicles meaning law enforcement, fire department, tow trucks, utility, trash, road rangers who were actively working with their lights on, meaning their lights were on, flashing, and they were on the side of the road, visible. Now, if I was a trooper just sitting on the shoulder with no lights on, the law does not require you to vacate. But I always said, why would you just move over for them? And I'm not saying the law needs to be there, but why would we not pull? I've always done it. If I see someone up ahead with hazard lights on, I'm going to want to move over. I'm going to want to give them some space. Have you guys been broke down on 417, 528, I-4, Turnpike ever? No one does the speed limit. You're talking 60 to 70 miles an hour is what it's governed at. And then you're sitting there broke down or dealing with something, your hazard lights are on, and you literally feel the rocking of the cars going by. You want to talk about a miserable experience? I would always move over if I saw a car up ahead. Even if it's not the law, I just want to give that space. And why would you want to pass someone that close? So now, the state of Florida has said the Florida Move Over law now covers broken down vehicles displaying active emergency lights, meaning your hazard lights are on, or maybe you have some aftermarket warning amber white light to turn on in case your vehicle broke down, or something like that. Some people put like the amber light on top of their vehicle if they're broke down. A lot of extra safety folks out there. That you are to treat that as you would have been treating emergency vehicles on the side of the road, giving them that space. So if you were to see that hazard light flashing, you shouldn't wait till you get right up on them. Get out of that lane. So I'm going to hop up here from, where are we? We're on 434 right here at Maitland. I'm going to hop on Maitland Boulevard, go for a little spin here for just a brief second so we can talk about it and maybe display a little bit of it. I do think I should have gone east, but hey, it's all right. I probably should have gone east. I'm facing west. We're going to get turned around. It's all right. We'll make it work. All right, let's get on to Maitland. Wait for the light to turn green. Let's roll. So I hope you guys managed the storm last night. That thing was intense. We haven't seen some rain and wind like that in quite some time. Some rotation here in the Central Florida area. Panhandle. Man, you guys are always getting it. Did some time up there. Air Force was stationed at Tyndall Air Force Base. And for those that don't know, my very first law enforcement civilian job was with the Mexico Beach Police Department. And they went out on a limb, gave me a chance as a really young man, still active duty, to serve on their beach patrol. And that's how I got super interested in law enforcement. Pretty crazy stuff. And then to go back there, visit there from News 6 was pretty crazy. So actually, we're going to continue. It's not a bad way to go. I'll be late to my meeting. It's all right. We're going to go to the highway portion here of western portions of Maitland Boulevard, so we could talk about how we should be moving over and things like that. If you're joining us this morning, this is a demo attempt expansion of the Florida Move Over law on a Wednesday, January 10th. Currently 8:46 in the morning. So let's head this way. Check some things out. I don't know how I feel. I just saw somebody with a sun visor thing that's like down here, clear like plastic. I think I would rather wear sunglasses than have that impaled in my face if I was to get into a crash. Alright, so we're coming up here. Lighting's good. What up? Coming up here to Maitland and Rose, and then we'll be in the highway portion of Maitland Boulevard, and hopefully we can show some things off here. Man, I've got a huge mosquito in here. Alright, we're going to cross over Bear Lake here, which is also Rose Avenue. We're now westbound on Maitland Boulevard. Man, there is traffic out there. And we're discussing the Florida Move Over law. Move Over law requires vehicles to give other vehicles that are on the shoulder some space. If they're displaying emergency red lights, emergency blue lights, things like that. And to include, it also has now been expanded to include people like us in normal vehicles. Currently doing 55 and a 55, but yet getting past like I'm standing still out here. You can see that eastbound traffic pretty slow here at Maitland and OBT. So here we go. We're cruising along this way, and if there was a vehicle out on the shoulder over here, we'll go far right lane. I'm going to get all the way over. So here, as you're cruising out here, you should always be looking around. I say this because I do this, and I genuinely do this. I don't want to exit at Hiawassee, so we're going to come over. I'm constantly looking around. For example, you should, when driving, check out your rear view. What's the distance between you and other vehicles? What's the side of your vehicle look like? Both sides, whether it's the driver's side or the passenger side. We should be aware of things like this. Again, you're operating thousands of pounds of machinery in some cases. Some would call this a weapon. You're an industrial type machine that's being operated by a human being, and you are fully responsible for it. So when people complain about things, it's like, well, think about what you're doing. So out here we're traveling, we're westbound along Maitland Boulevard. It is your job to be looking up ahead of what the roadway looks like. So are the shoulders clear? Are there any flashing lights taking place? And what about merging traffic? I've got these vehicles coming in. This is stuff, as a driver, you are responsible to be aware of. I hate when people are like, well, I didn't see them. Well, maybe you should turn in your driver's license, because there should be nothing in here that is preventing you from seeing what's up ahead. Nothing at all. And if there is, then you're not doing your best as a driver. And I genuinely mean that, because we only have a handful of crashes a day that are conducted by a handful of people who are not paying attention. So I don't jump on the bandwagon of people when they start, oh, the roadway's messed up. No, what did you do to contribute? So now, with this Florida move over law, you should be aware of vehicles all the time on the side of the road, because the law covers all vehicles. So we'll go over it again. We're going to get turned around so I can head back to the office. We've got a meeting I need to get to. But yeah, I was really hoping we'd find a disabled vehicle so I could show you the demo. But hey, we're out here talking. We're going through the Martin toll plaza here. We're going to get turned around, head back, because I've gone too far west. But we are talking. So for example, if there was a vehicle here, say on the shoulder, there's nothing to my left, I would scoot over and give that vehicle some space. Then, after I pass it, it's safe, there's no one coming in from the toll merge, I'd come back over. If I could not get over, you slow down 20 miles an hour under the posted speed limit, or as much as you can, as safely as you can. There are times where, look, it may be extremely dangerous, but at the flip end, I'm going to be the one that tells you you should be paying attention anyway. Here, exactly. I'm exiting, but there's a vehicle with hazard lights on, so I'm going to slow it down, and then we move on. All very, very carefully. Got to be very, very careful. Alright, so we're going to exit and then head back the opposite direction. Probably run into some traffic that way. Oh, little roundabout here. Alright, so look, using what we've learned before. Yielding, looking left, looking right. They're still coming. I don't know why they did a full circle. They might be a little confused. Alright, so they're going again around the circle. Dun, 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 dun. and going in the wrong way of the school. Great job, Corolla. Can you guys tell I'm in a decent mood? Okay, so we're here. I didn't know these cul-de-sacs were here. Are these roundabouts? Another roundabout, but we want to exit to the highway, so we're going to enter slowly, yield, look both ways. I'm in it. We're going around. Don't ever forget, signal when exiting. We exit, and we're back on. That was cool and unexpected. Look, y'all, it's the little things with traffic that get me excited. So when I discover 2 new roundabouts, we're going to chat and do it. Okay, we're getting back on Maitland here. Might be a little hazy. That glare is going to be right in our face. But it's all good. Oh, I need my sunglasses. Alright, so we're back out here. We're now eastbound along Maitland this morning. And I'm trying to get the sun out of my face. There we go. We're talking the expansion of the Florida Move Over Law, which includes all vehicles on the side of the road that are either a service vehicle with their emergency lights activated, or their traffic advisories, whether it's a sanitation vehicle or a road ranger. But it now includes you, me, us, and our normal POVs. When I say POV, I mean personally owned vehicle. Anytime I say GOV, it's a government-owned vehicle. So all our vehicles that we drive to and from work, if you own it, it's a POV, and that's what I refer to when I say that. So it now includes POVs that are displaying hazards. We've got hazards, you turn them on, you're stopped on the side of the road. The law says a driver should be polite and courteous and give you space, but now they've made it law. So whether the person chooses to do it or not, it's up to them, but there can be law enforcement consequences that do follow. Does this make sense? The law also includes that if we were to come up this direction and say there was somebody, we say we didn't see the hazards, we didn't see a flashing light, but I could see a vehicle stopped on the side of the road. If a pedestrian is visible, you are also required to vacate the lane. I swear the speeds out here on Maitland Boulevard, y'all just don't care. Look at this. Gone. 70 plus. Easy. Jeez. Another one. Just right on by. Tesla and a Lexus. Go figure. Oh, go ahead, Caddy. Get it. With your illegal tag cover on it. Man. Can't win them all. These are the days that I wish FHP would give me an unmarked car that I can just come out because of what we get to see together, and then come out after all this new stuff is done and hand out the coupons. I love coupons. Coupons are tickets. Because I don't think people learn. They see the truck, they're like, oh crap, he's got cameras, but it's not going to do anything. I'll put you on blast though. All right, we're going to get off here at OBT, head back towards the area. Great. I love live stuff because, no matter what, we get to talk, we get to ride around a little bit, see different things, but we don't always encounter disabled vehicles, and I'm okay with that. So, good stuff. We're going to exit up here at Orange Blossom Trail and head back in. So if you're joining us, we're going to wrap this one up this morning. Talking Florida Move Over Law expansion on a Wednesday, beautiful Wednesday, nice and chilly today. But if you're out and about on the road, something just to keep in mind. Oh wait, here's a good example. I see flashing lights up ahead. I'm slowing down because I can't get over here. I'm going to clear this lane here. I can see the flashing lights. I gave space. Pass. I can now look back. I'm clear. And I'm back in that right lane. Look at that. Timing, can't make it up. I was just about to end this, and then we had a perfect little demo there. So, if you're out and about, just something for you to permanently understand. Hear me out. Permanently understand. there is a vehicle on the side of the road displaying flashing lights, whether it's a police vehicle, fire truck, ambulance, road ranger, tow truck, sanitation, flashing lights, or whatever. I don't care if it's DHL, FPL, OUC, they're doing something. You are required to give them some space. If you can't move, which you should try your best, you need to reduce your speed to 20 miles under the posted speed limit. But now, civilian vehicles are also included in this that are displaying hazard flashing lights or has a pedestrian visible at that car. So the same thing we've always been doing for emergency and service vehicles, we are now doing for each other, and it's about freaking time. So I'm really excited about this. I really think this will help reduce the amount of crashes that we've seen out there. Hopefully, maybe make us nicer drivers, a little bit more polite, because we're now being forced to give each other some space. Either way, I don't care. I just hope this reduces the crashes, limits traffic a little bit, and allows us to get from point A to point B and B back to A safely. Guys, I appreciate you guys joining me today. Trooper Steve on patrol. We're headed back to the News 6 headquarters. You guys have an amazing day. Please be safe out there. Always wear your seatbelt. Educate yourself on what the laws are on the road. If you hear something crazy, it probably is. Research it or shoot me a message. You can get in touch with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I operate all my own stuff and always willing to answer your question. And hey, if you have an event coming up and you want me or the truck, but we kind of come as a bundle package, then reach out. We'll hook it up. You guys have a great day. Get some results out there. Please be safe. Drive safely. And always wear your seatbelt.